What's up, bro? I hope you're doing well. And today it is Forest of Legend Part 7. There you go. And last time I said that is Forest of Legend Part 7, but this time it's Part 7 for real. So yeah, overall, I just want to talk about the state of the channel and essentialism. So let's start with the state of the channel again, because I've been really thinking the last few days, and you might have noticed like, hey, the upload sometimes like I missed an upload last week once, missed an upload this week, and that's for the reason that I want to reduce the amount of uploads. One, because school is coming back again, and I won't have as much time as I have now, so that's an obvious contributor. And number two is that I want to increase the quality in videos, because honestly, like I'm not unhappy with the current quality, but I have to say that I think that there's a lot more to it if I just do videos a little bit more sophisticated. Like you may have noticed on the one of the more recent videos, I believe, how staring at a wall took me to the next level. That's the title. You might have noticed that that video is a little bit more higher in quality than the rest, and that is the kind of content that I want to start pushing from now on, because I realized that, hey, that's a lot more authentic, and that's something that's a lot more, yeah, that's basically something that's a lot more fulfilling and brings a lot more joy. So the uploads are going to be a lot less consistent from that. And I think that consistency is actually a little bit overrated in this case, because if you just wait, well, not just wait, but if you just work on like something big, like however long it should take, I think that's going to pay off more than consistently uploading a video a day and not having much value or something to show for it, to be honest. So that's the current mindset. The shorts are going to be still daily, and the long form videos are going to be the thing that's really there, to be completely fair. Yeah, as you can see, it's still 6 a.m. in the morning. My talking isn't on point yet. And I just realized I'm holding the camera wrong, so I guess I'll just have to bear with this for today. Because I usually hold it vertically, but I'm holding it like this right now. It's a lot more straining on the arm than you might think. So yeah, that's the state of the YouTube channel, and I just want to see how it goes in that direction, because honestly, over time, I've really grown to like YouTube a lot. I don't know what it is exactly, but at the start I was very reluctant to do YouTube, but now I'm like, what do we do in the next video? And I think coupling that with making bigger videos instead of like these small, like, yeah, this is how to be more disciplined. I think making them bigger and making them a little bit more, I think grander in scale is a good word here. I think that's going to be the thing that's really going to make me happy right now. So yeah, let me switch arms, because as I said, there you go. As I said, it's pretty difficult to hold, even more so with my left hand. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, shit. There's a lot of wobbling going on. That's not the way. That's not the way. How about this? There you go. That's pretty good. And also, I've been buying some stuff, which means that the camera, not the camera, but the audio quality is going to get higher in the next, I believe, in 2 weeks or so. So you can, I'm pretty happy about that, because I'm pretty certain that the camera, not the camera again, but the audio quality in these videos isn't exactly good. The camera is also kind of meh, but I can't really buy a professional camera at the moment, and I'm not looking forward to buying like an iPhone, because this phone is fine. And I don't need an iPhone just for making better videos or better screenshots. So yeah, this is how it's gonna stay. But audio is going to be having an upgrade. And yeah, that is all I have to say to YouTube. And now I want to talk to you about essentialism. Because essentialism, you may have heard it many times on my channel. And essentialism is, in my opinion, one of the most important principles that you can teach someone. And I've been noticing it in the last few days especially, because this week, it's the last week before summer break ends. And I just wanted to be like, okay, let's do like this final batch of good work that I can do. And then give it my best. Because school is going to be taking a lot of time away from me. But that's beside the point. And what I want to get at is that in this week, I've got 1 day. No, I've got 0 days that are like completely free. Because Monday, I had Kung Fu. And I did my workout at home, so I had like, 3 hours of time. 1 hour for walking in the morning, because this is a vital habit, honestly. And 2 hours were left for like actual other things that I can focus on. On Tuesday, yesterday, I invited a friend, which was great, not gonna lie. And also, like, I had like 1 or 2 hours of time in total, which is not exactly a lot. I recorded a video for that, which is going to be released tomorrow. But other than that, that is basically it. For today, I invited another friend. For these 2 days, it was my idea. For the rest, it kind of just came along that way, because this other friend I haven't seen for quite a while, and I wanted to talk to him, have a little chat and some time, because honestly, he's a cool guy. I think today is the day where I have the most time. Tomorrow, I'm invited to another event. I believe I have like 2-3 hours again. I'll be gone from like 12 a.m. to evening time, so that's basically all I have. And last but not least, on Friday is actually kind of free, so that's pretty cool. But I just realized that you can fill your schedule very, very quickly. And this schedule filling can become quite a detriment, because you take away your free time every time you schedule something, right? But you often don't realize how full things actually get. Because I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna fit this all in, and that was the proper non-essential thinking right there. Greg, in the book, talks about this exactly. Because a non-essentialist always thinks that, hey, I can fit all in, I can do this all. And I had that exact moment as well. But guess what? You cannot fit all in. Not all can go into a schedule. You have to essentialize, because if you don't, you will either be overwhelmed, so there will be too many activities to do and you will not get your work done, or the quality of the work is going to decrease, or maybe both. It really depends. But it will certainly have it will inhibit the quality of your work in some way. Yeah, that's what I realized. Like, hey, I wanted to work on YouTube this week, but the last few days, like especially yesterday and the day before yesterday, man, in total I believe I had like 5 hours in 2 days to do some stuff. On Monday I flat out wasted it, because I wanted to see what Star Wars Jedi Survivor was up to. I do not know why. Like, a spackle of curiosity just hit me, and I wasted like a whole hour of time. Maybe even more, I'm not certain. But that's basically the thing. And man, going up the slope and talking, man, I hate this freaking slope sometimes. Look over here. especially with holding the freaking phone like this. I wish I just held it differently, because I'm holding it like this, kind of, not like this. So it's a little bit annoying, but who really cares, right? Other than my shoulders, of course, because they certainly do not like this. There you go. So other than that, I want you to ask yourself whether you are also participating in the non-essential. And I'm not saying that these stuff are bad, by the way, because Monday was an amazing day. Kung Fu was really cool. Yesterday was an amazing day because I'm with my friend. It was amazing. Kung Fu was great. Then we have today. I think some time with my friends is going to be amazing. I'm not saying that the non-essential things are bad, but non-essential things are non-essential because you don't really need to do this. I'm not saying that you have to like go completely monk mode, cut out every single thing out of your life. But I do think that you should be very sparing with all of the things. Because if you're not, I think you can very quickly fall into a trap. And this trap is simply that like you will not have any time left. And if you don't have any time left, then how are you going to get your stuff done? Like, you probably have like a higher goal. You probably have a purpose. You probably want to have things to do. You want some challenges, right? Well, guess what? If you schedule all your time, what happens? You have nothing left. So why the hell would you schedule all of your time away for social events, even if they're cool? And that's exactly what I did. Like, my dumbass fell for it again. But as I said, I do not think that it's a bad thing. Like, if I made this mistake once, and I will not make it again. But I want you to learn from this, because a man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. I bet you've heard that quote before. But this is exactly where I want you to use it. And holy shit, we scaled the fucking slope. Let's have a thumbnail, shall we? Alright, let's see. There, look at that. Looks pretty good, right? Need to be like this, there you go. And no, like that, there you go. Perfect. Very nice. I'm sorry. I'll defend you from the wind. I'm gonna silence this part a little bit, shall we? Alright, I think the wind is gone. At least I hope it's gone. But yeah, that is a vital lesson that I have to share with you, because honestly, I think if you can master essentialism and say no to everything not essential, I often talk about this, but I'm still mastering it as well, because I'm like no disciple when it comes to this stuff. Because, hold up, there you go. Because I'm not exactly good at this stuff either. Like, I'm still learning a lot. And And while I do think that it's extremely vital, I am not the best at executing it yet, because I still make quite some mistakes. And I think mistakes were made this time. Is it? Yeah, it's starting to rain. Amazing. But yeah, that's basically all I have to share with you. So you may click off now, or you may keep watching, because I'm gonna still have 10 minutes left. Maybe less, maybe more. We'll see. And I'll definitely find something to talk about. I don't really know. Let's keep talking about essentialism. If you've read the book, there's a part where like everything is summarized, where the non-essential activities are listed on the left side, and the essential activities are listed on the right side. And the non-essential stuff basically includes like having everything in there. Like you just want everything in your schedule. Schedule is full, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna take on even more work. So that's basically the equivalent of taking a water bottle and filling it up with water completely, and then deciding like, hey, I want even more of that water in there. It's completely stupid, isn't it? But that's exactly what people are doing. They take that freaking water bottle, fill it up to the brim with water, and then they expect to fit in more water. And I think that's the fascinating thing about essentialism, because many people are like, yeah, I can fit this all in, but they can't. And the fact is, you actually get more done by getting rid of more activities. And that thing just completely blew my freaking mind. And that's the reason why this book, Essentialism, is my favorite book of all time. Man, I'm sorry. But honestly, I think that book, holy shit, it has taught me some very good lessons. And some books might come close, like I think Deep Work by Cal Newport comes pretty close. I think $100 Million Offers, like, it's a completely different book, but it's pretty damn good. And The Way of the Superior Man, in some instances, also comes close. And I think, but the book that comes the closest is the Bible, because the Bible, I've been learning a lot more about religion recently, and man, there's a lot more to the Bible than I initially thought. I've read it once, and I've been reciting it like sometimes here and there, you know, a little bit like, let's say like one or two verses, not verses, like the whole, I do not know what they're called. Could you call them chapters? Like, I understand, like, from Genesis 1 to Genesis 5. Are those 5 chapters? Because those are not 5 verses. The verses are like the small thingies inside. I do not know what they're called, but I'm sure you know what I mean if you've read the Bible. And if not, read it, because holy shit, it's absolutely amazing. I don't have other words to describe it. Like, I've also read the Quran, but didn't really hit the nail. It was easier to read because there was a lot less repetition in it. Hold up, let me take it. There you go. There was a lot less repetition in it, but I think the thing that put me off with the Quran is that I just don't agree with some of the messages in there, like personally. And in the Bible, while there are some things I do not agree with, I still see like this is something that feels a lot more right. And I do not know why, but like my gut feeling is telling me that, hey, Christianity is the way for me. It might not be the same way for you. You might be like, yeah, but Islam is great. Or you might be like, yeah, but atheism is great. I think everyone has to decide that for himself. But the Bible, man, the Bible has taught me some absolutely amazing lessons. If you take away anything from the Bible, make it the 7 deadly sins and the 7, what is it? 7, like the opposites of the deadly sins, like pride becomes humility, lust becomes chastity, or gluttony becomes temperance, those stuff. Because those, I think those are really good. Sorry for darkening the screen for the whole time, I didn't realize. There you go. And yeah, I think that's the book that comes closest to Essentialism. And I do not know what it is about Essentialism, but it just clicks with the soul. It just it's like the click, bam, done. I think the book is wonderful, and I'm certainly going to study it a lot more. Funnily enough, I haven't read Effortless yet, and I think that's a definite read that I should really catch up on, because there's still a lot of books that I want to read. One that I'm reading right now is The Blue Ocean Strategy. The book has completely blown my mind so far, and I'm at page 50, and it just gave me ideas that I've like never even freaking thought about, and everything is slowly like linking up, combining it a little bit with other business books like The Psychology of Selling and $100 Million Offers, The Millionaire Fastlane. All amazing books. Let me think, is there like a book that I really wouldn't recommend to anyone? Yeah, like for many people, I think the most uninteresting book could be like Pure, White and Deadly by John Yudkin. It's basically a whole book about sugar. By the way, video on sugar coming out pretty soon. I've already got the script written and I just need to record it. That's gonna be a big video. John Yudkin basically said like, hey, sugar is not so cool as we thought. And yeah, that's the main message of the book, but there's a lot more to it. Anyway, any other book that I wouldn't recommend reading? I do not think so, because every book that I've read so far has been helpful in some way. I think the one I got the least ROI out of is 365 Days of Self-Discipline by, I believe, Martin Meadows. That book, yeah, it was decent. I didn't read it as it was intended to be. Like, you're supposed to like read one page every day. I was just like, yeah, let's go through this in 10 days, or maybe even less. But the book itself was good. I just didn't really care for it that much. I don't know, it didn't click. And yeah, that's all I have to say to quote unquote useless books, because I do not think that useless books exist, because a book in general is going to give you some sort of ROI, because at least if you're not even like profiting from the contents that much, you are still reading, and the reading is going to improve your concentration. What else is it going to do? It's going to allow you to have better dopamine receptors, because this is not something that you are given. If you're watching a video, you are given everything. If you're reading, you have to acquire everything. And while it might be rewarding in the aftermath, it certainly takes a little bit of effort. Not much, but it takes a little bit of effort to get to the point of like completing the book or completing a chapter. And I think that's very, very vital when reading a book, because you're not handed everything on a silver platter. You actually have to do something to get there. So yeah, I think that's why books in general are great. There's a car coming, so let me go aside. And if you even have fiction books, like say Harry Potter, while I do think that the books is a lot more useless than non-fiction books, you might not even be reading it for growing as a person. You might just be reading it because it's fun. That's completely fine. But I think you should definitely have this balance of, if you're reading, you should have non-fiction as first place, because that's the important thing in my opinion. And fiction is like, okay, let's do this and that. And some fiction which depicts reality, like 1984 and Brave New World, that stuff can be applied to the world. And while I do think that the same can be said for some other things in fiction, not so much for others. So that is overall it for what I have to say on books in general. As you can see, I managed to improvise something, because I actually thought this was going to take a lot more to talk about essentialism, to talk about YouTube, to talk about those two topics, but ended up running out of steam around halfway out. So yeah, a little recap if you just skip to this part of the video or something, or if you just want to recap. YouTube, there's going to be less uploads, but traded in for more quality. The book Essentialism has struck again in my life, because I realized I was being non-essential through scheduling too much of my time for free time activities like meeting with friends and stuff like that. And books are an absolutely vital source of information, and the best ones you can read. I've made a video about the 5 best books that you can read out there, in my opinion. I think Essentialism was in there, I think. And if it wasn't, like at that point, I just didn't consider Essentialism that important yet. But I think it was in there. I think it was. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here, because I'm getting back to the city again. Please have a look at the cornfields. There you go. And with that, and the not so good lighting of my camera, I want to tell you thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you've watched this far, because holy shit, if you've watched this far, then like just press subscribe, like come on. And I shall see you next time. Goodbye.